850 violent criminals arrested by Memphis task force. New Hamilton County arrest data shows 356 illegal aliens arrested, over 30 No Kings protests planned in various cities across the volunteer state. Knoxville sales tax increase criticized by citizens as well it should be. Majority of Nashville homeowners denied changes in property tax appeals after review. And finally, Sumner County School Board member getting weak in the knees and a little timid about saying that we should celebrate Christmas and Charlie Kirk. Brandon Lewis here with the 10 Con Big 7, bringing you the stories that the mainstream media would like to bury and hide somewhere in a graveyard along with their voters. If you would, go to Gab Getter Truth, MeWe Rumble, and go to TennesseeConservativeNews.com, hit that subscribe button. And if you care about conservative journalism, and if you want to keep our state's only conservative newspaper up and running that's completely, utterly, and teetotally supporter-funded, do go to TennesseeConservativeNews.com/support or mail your checks to P.O. Box 625, Signal Mountain, Tennessee 37377. All proceeds go directly to funding the Tennessee Conservative and its reporters, and I take nary a penny. I'm a volunteer, just like so many of you in your grassroots organization, so we need to keep this thing rolling. Guys, if you have nothing better to do this Tuesday night coming up, what is that? I don't know what the date is, but it's this coming Tuesday. I'm going to be with the Tennessee Neighbors for Liberty, Glenda Harris and their wonderful group at Hamilton Place Mall in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Tuesday. Again, I think it's at 6:30. Is that right? 6:30. So I'll be speaking about all things state and grassroots politics related. So I would love to see you there. Again, Tennessee Neighbors for Liberty, El Mason, 6:30, Hamilton Place, this coming Tuesday. See you there. First story. The Memphis Safe Streets Task Force has arrested 850 violent criminals and known gang members. Governor Lee said Tuesday approximately 20% of these arrests were immigration related. The task force also confiscated 175 firearms. 45 missing children were located. So when I think about these Democrats that run these failing cities in Tennessee opposing this kind of stuff, what about the 45 kids that wouldn't have ever been found? I mean, shouldn't that at least make all the pink and blue-haired crazy people that are out protesting in these Democrat-controlled cities like have a little pause that maybe something good could come from actually enforcing laws and having law and order in Tennessee? I think it could. Memphis Mayor Democrat Paul Young said he received encouragement from a fifth grade teacher with students in an apartment complex where the operations were taking place. Young said those fifth graders came out here and said they were really excited because it meant they'd be able to play outside all fall. Imagine kids living in a place that is so unsafe that it takes a task force to come in so that they can play outside. Sad state of affairs. Next story. New Hamilton County arrest data shows 356 illegal immigrants arrested since January. Between January and September, we've got 356 illegal aliens have been arrested. According to the data, 42% of these are involving an individual with unknown or unauthorized citizenship status. The Highway Patrol was responsible for 28%, and the Sheriff's Office was responsible for approximately 12%. And so while the police and the county don't have the ability to bring immigration proceedings against these individuals, they can hand them over to ICE and they can pick up the ball from there. Shelby County GOP calls for county clerk's resignation. Basically, this is what happened. And you've got this lady, Sawyer, who is the court clerk in the Memphis area. And she wanted to bring a gun into the courtroom. Okay? You can't bring guns into the courtroom. Why? Because things happen in the courtroom, emotions run high, things of that nature. And when the local security just said, hey, I'm sorry, you can't bring that in there. Of course, it turned into a racial tirade, by this woman, because we all know that these folks that have been fed this claptrap about the color of your skin defining who you are and how everyone is an oppressor and you're oppressed. Like, it gets into your mental DNA over time. And so she called them white supremacists and went on a tirade, embarrassing, all caught on camera. Brent Taylor said after General Session Court's clerk Tammy Sawyer allegedly attempted to facilitate getting a firearm into the Shelby County Courthouse, what followed was absolute embarrassment. Sawyer erupted in a tirade, screaming racial epithets and degrading the officers who were simply enforcing the law. And of course, Republican Rep. John Gillespie is calling for her resignation as well. What you might expect, right? Anytime somebody really has bad behavior in the public eye, the other side of the aisle always says they need to immediately resign. One question I would ask of Mr. Taylor and even Gillespie is, when Ken Yeager got caught peeing his pants being arrested for a DUI in Georgia, like, where was the outrage? I don't recall anyone even making a peep about it in the House or the Senate. So sometimes this moral outrage and all this, that, and the other, it is a little, put on by Republicans. I wish they would hold those in their own chamber as assertively accountable for their behavior as they do those in the other party. Next story, 30 No Kings protests scheduled across Tennessee on October 18th. So there were various batches of these last year. They claim that roughly 18 million people across the U.S. participated in them. Who knows? But on Saturday, if you can get down to one of these, you might be able to total up like 340 IQ points in the whole crowd. 33 Tennessee cities, maybe coming to a city near you: Clarksville, Chattanooga, Gallatin, Kingston, Knoxville, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Sevierville, Tellico Plains, Tullahoma, and Union City, among others. So if you're out there and if you're trolling these people, or if you get any footage that you think might be worth sending, send it to us, news@TennesseeConservativeNews.com. Guys, fundraising is low. It is low during the summer. There's not that much going on. I'll just be honest. And so when that is happening, sometimes people take a nap. And now that Trump is in office, people think that state government is somehow magically going to change. I've not seen that be the case. So if you want conservative media to hang around, then please do go to TennesseeConservativeNews.com. Hit that subscribe button. If you give $50 or more, we will send you a proud Tennessee conservative tumbler, a koozie, a directory of your elected officials, and a letter of heartfelt thanks from yours truly. And if you'd rather do it by check, go to P.O. Box 625, Signal Mountain, Tennessee 37377. We could use the help. Knoxville sales tax increase. Of course, everybody's PO'd about it, as well they should be. Mayor McCannon said Knoxville will use the additional funds, if she's able to get her tax increase through, to expedite city projects like affordable housing, greenways, road paving, sidewalks, and traffic calming. However, some elected officials aren't on board with the proposal. Henderson said, and this is, I believe, one of the council members, government must learn to live within its means, just like families do. No, government doesn't learn to live within its means. It should, but it never seems to. Knoxville does not have a revenue problem. It has a spending problem. That is almost always government's problem, is a spending problem, not a revenue problem. Knox County Commissioner Angela Russell also spoke, thinking it would be unfair to county residents shopping inside the city limits. They pay the city taxes but don't get city council representation. Another commissioner, Andy Fox, said core government services like roads and public safety ought to be the focus, not affordable housing and projects like the $1.2 million Cradle of Country Music park piece. I'm sorry. If you got $1.2 million to spend on a park piece, you don't have a revenue problem. Next story, majority of Nashville homeowners denied changes to property tax bill. I think 19,000 submitted. Only 6,400 resulted in a change, about 34%. And this is after in 2020, the Metro Council raised taxes 34%. And now people are watching it go up again. Many Davidson County homeowners say their tax bills are increasing while they receive subpar city services like public schools. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that Memphis and Nashville and other counties and cities rake in all this massive abundance of revenue, And you would think, okay, we're raking in all this revenue, so we're going to produce really excellent government services. But what I found living in the city of Chattanooga is that your tax rates are higher while your schools are worse, as is your public safety versus the county where you pay less. Just goes to show you it's a wrong focus. Sumner County School Board member reversing stance on Charlie Kirk Day and Christmas break. A Republican school board member in Sumner County appears to be tearfully regretting, I'm sure, his vote designating October 14th as Charlie Kirk Day. Closed circuit transmission to this guy. Apparently, you don't know how to read your GOP primary voters. If this was polled, it would poll very well, but looking like you're a flip-flopper would not poll very well. And he also wants to change Christmas break to winter break. Amazing. So Wade Evans, this guy's got all the political instincts of a snail with salt sprinkled on it. But he asked, I suppose, that Christmas break be turned back to winter break, and that he got a few negative emails from people, none of which are probably his GOP primary voters. I'll just throw that out there. And one thing that GOP school board members need to learn how to distinguish is when the leftists and the media and the government employees, none of which elect you to serve, end up driving the bus and you drive it away from your constituents, that's a problem. It appears that that is what has happened here. These people run with an R beside their name, but they would run with a C for communism. They would run for an S for socialism. It just depends on how the district is drawn, right? If you're a class president type, and if you're in some kind of district and it's drawn with an R, you're just going to lie through your teeth until you get elected. And then when you're elected and push comes to shove and you got to make a tough decision or two, you fold like a cheap suit. We've seen it all before. Guys, sorry that it's a slow news week. And I've been out a little bit. My wife and I went, segmenting into the weekend section here. We went to the Red Clay Strays in Huntsville at the Orion Amphitheater. And boy, that was a great show. If you don't know who these guys are, I would check them out. Red Clay Strays. They're an up-and-coming band out of Mobile, Alabama. I don't think they will be up-and-coming long. They sold out the Orion Amphitheater, and it's about 8,000 in capacity. Fantastic venue, easy to get in and get out, comparatively speaking, for that many people being there. So if you've got Spotify, anything like that, I'm a big lover of music, and you don't often see really good new music. But this is some of it. Red Clay Strays, check that out. And so what's going on this weekend? Tonight, I'm going to go to the gym because I probably won't get an opportunity to this weekend. The wife and I are going to get up bright and early with our kids and go join two other families to the Nantahala Outdoor Center to do a little zip lining, little obstacle courses, maybe go whitewater rafting while we're there. I got to make sure I stay warm. I tried that early in the spring a year or two ago and about froze to death. I'd never been so cold in my life. I had to go like lay in the bed and shiver for about 10, 15 minutes before my body temperature got back up to where it needed to be. I can see how somebody could die, like in real cold water. It's like the first time I was like, wow, this is pretty serious. You get too cold, you may just check out. And so we're doing that this weekend. And of course, I'm going into my busy season for the Painters Academy, and which happens to coincide with when the legislature comes in. So I'm burning the midnight and the daytime and the morning time oil, trying to get everything done while still having a little bit of work-life balance. So maybe you go through seasons like this where you're like, whoo, I'm gonna have to redline it for a little while. And that's my life for the next 4 months or so. So guys, if you're around, even if you got to drive in a little bit, join me this coming Tuesday at El Mason. It's over in the Hamilton Place area. They've got good food. It's at 6:30 p.m. It's Tennessee Neighbors for Liberty, an organization that Harris and Glenda put together that really was remarkably helpful during COVID and has been on many legislative efforts and recent elections here in Hamilton County. It's a good functioning club. Not all clubs function. This one does. And so if you'd like to come hear me, I'll be there. I'll tell you some stuff that I can't even tell. I can't even tell online here, because there's no telling what would happen. A super secret, double, triple super secret, double dog dare, things that nobody will know. I don't know. Don't come thinking that all that's going to happen. You may be disappointed. But at any rate, we're going to get together. We're going to have a good time. I'd love to see you there. I always love to meet new subscribers and bring a friend. Old BL here. I got to get off the line because I've got to talk to a client in roughly 1 minute. So, guys, I appreciate you. Love you. Mean it. I'll talk to you next time. It's Brandon Lewis with the Tennessee Conservative signing off.